Have you ever cracked open an egg and wondered, how can something so small, so ordinary, do something so extraordinary inside your body? We've all heard the arguments. One day, eggs are hailed as the perfect superfood. The next, someone warns us that they're a heart attack on a plate. For decades, we've been told to fear the yolk, to throw away the cholesterol, to be cautious. And yet, quietly, something fascinating has been happening, especially for people over 60. Because hidden inside those 2 eggs you might already be eating every morning is a kind of power you may not have fully noticed. Not just the kind of power that fuels your muscles or sharpens your mind, but the kind that gently, steadily supports your body in ways that grow more vital with each passing year. This video isn't about a fad. It's not a diet. It's not a miracle. It's about understanding what happens, truly and deeply, when you give your body something as humble and as remarkable as 2 eggs every day. And if you've ever struggled with energy after breakfast, or noticed that your balance, your memory, your skin, even your vision isn't what it used to be, you might be surprised to learn just how much of that connects back to this one simple food. So if you've got a friend, a sister, or a neighbor who's also on this journey of aging with strength and clarity, please share this video with them. Sometimes the answers we've been searching for have been sitting right there on our plate all along. Now, I won't walk you through a list. I won't count down with bold numbers or flashy facts. But I will take you on a gentle path, a story if you will, through the hidden ways these eggs might be quietly transforming you. Let's begin at the center. At the heart of your strength, your stamina, your ability to stand tall, carry groceries, or rise from your favorite chair without hesitating. Muscle. As we age, our bodies lose muscle faster than we think. Not just because we move less, but because our systems stop absorbing and building protein like they used to. And that means the simple act of walking can start to feel harder. Legs grow weaker, arms tire faster, and some days we can't even explain why. But here's the quiet truth. 2 eggs, each carrying about 6 grams of high-quality protein, can help reverse that trend. This isn't just about numbers. It's about the kind of protein your body actually uses. It's called complete protein, something that gives your muscles what they need to rebuild, restore, and keep you steady. And if you're someone who walks less than before or spends more time sitting, this becomes even more important. Because those eggs, they aren't just food. They're building blocks. They're part of the quiet repair crew working on your legs, your posture, your independence, day after day. But let's move deeper. Underneath the muscle is something softer, something more vulnerable. Your memory, your ability to think clearly, to find the right word, to remember why you walked into the room. It's a topic many of us avoid, brushing it off with a laugh or a sigh. I'm just getting old, Mom, we say. But what if that forgetfulness wasn't just about age? What if your brain was simply asking for more of the nutrients it used to take for granted? Inside those same eggs lives a nutrient called choline. It's not a name you hear often, but your brain knows it well. Choline helps your neurons communicate, keeps your memory sharp, and supports your mood. And for many adults over 60, choline intake is far too low, without them even realizing it. So when you eat those 2 eggs, you're not just feeding your belly. You're giving your brain the tools to stay awake, a little clearer, a little faster, a little more you. And if you're still with me now, still listening, still curious, then I want to thank you. Because these details matter. Your health matters. And sometimes taking the time to learn something new is the most powerful act of self-care we can offer ourselves. So if you're still here, maybe leave a small yes in the comments, just to let me know that you're still on this path with me. Let's continue. I want you to imagine your eyes, not just as the windows to the world, but as delicate instruments that have been working hard for decades, reading menus, watching sunsets, admiring the faces of loved ones. But with age, the light feels harsher, the fine print more frustrating, night driving more difficult. Now imagine that same pair of eyes supported from within, protected from damage, nourished by tiny antioxidants with names like lutein and zeaxanthin, both of which are found in abundance in the yolks of those eggs. These compounds act like internal sunglasses. They help your eyes filter harmful light. They protect the retina from long-term wear. And most importantly, they give your vision a fighting chance. For someone in their 30s, these nutrients might seem like a bonus. But for us, those entering the 7th, 8th, or even 9th decade of life, they are a shield. And it doesn't take a complicated routine, it just takes consistency. 2 eggs, each day, quietly offering your eyes the armor they need. But it's not just what you can see, it's also what you can feel. That glow in your skin, the strength of your hair, the resilience of your nails. These aren't just surface details. They're signs of how well your body is nourishing itself on the inside. When your body gets enough biotin, enough vitamin A, enough zinc and selenium, all found in eggs, it doesn't just survive, it renews, it reflects health. Your skin might feel softer, your hair a little thicker, your nails less brittle. And if that seems shallow, it's not. Because when we look in the mirror and feel a little stronger, a little more alive, that confidence becomes part of our healing too. Eggs can be part of that. Not magic, not makeover, just honest nourishment. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. What about cholesterol? Aren't eggs bad for the heart? It's a fair question, one that's been passed around for generations. But modern research has revealed a gentler, more accurate truth. For most healthy adults, eating eggs, yes, including the yolk, doesn't raise your bad cholesterol the way we once feared. In fact, those same eggs might actually raise your good cholesterol, the kind that helps clear your arteries, that protects your heart. What matters more is the context, the whole diet, the balance of movement, hydration, and rest. And in that balance, 2 eggs a day can absolutely be part of the solution, especially when they're cooked gently, paired with fiber-rich vegetables, and enjoyed with intention. So, dear friend, before we go further, ask yourself this. How would your mornings feel if they started not with fear or restriction, but with something simple, nourishing, and true? What if your first bite of the day was also your first act of self-respect? You deserve that. You've earned that. And you'll discover, as we go even deeper, that these 2 eggs may offer more than we ever gave them credit for. Some mornings it feels like the scale is playing tricks on you. You eat less than you used to, you've cut back on sweets, but somehow your clothes fit tighter, or your energy drops faster than it used to. Weight in our later years becomes more than a number. It becomes a balance of strength and lightness, of nourishment and control. We're no longer chasing a waistline. We're protecting our knees, our hips, our hearts. And here again, eggs quietly step in, not as a miracle, but as a stabilizer. 2 eggs can do something that many healthy breakfast options can't. They keep you full. They don't spike your blood sugar, then leave you crashing by mid-morning. Instead, they release energy slowly, steadily, through protein and good fats. You feel more satisfied, and that satisfaction silences the cravings that usually whisper around 10:30 a.m. When your body isn't riding the roller coaster of hunger and insulin, your choices throughout the day change. You reach for less sugar, you snack less on empty calories, and your digestion begins to reset to something calmer, more rhythmic. And if you've ever felt discouraged, like no matter how hard you try, your appetite won't listen, just know this: it's not about willpower, it's about what you give your body first. And eggs, they're a firm, loving start. But the story doesn't end with appetite, because under that surface lies something even more important: your blood sugar. We often think of blood sugar issues as something only diabetics need to worry about. But the truth is, every one of us over 60 should pay attention to the way our energy rises and falls. Eggs, with their near-zero glycemic index, are like a balm for those swings. They help stabilize the flow of energy in your body, reduce the insulin spikes that wear out your pancreas, and calm the internal storm that leads to fatigue, brain fog, or those sudden waves of sleepiness after lunch. And if you're someone managing prediabetes or simply trying to avoid medications, this matters deeply, because the small choices, 2 eggs instead of a processed breakfast, can add up to fewer blood sugar spikes, which means fewer complications later. Let's pause here. If you're still listening, still following this story, still feeling the rhythm of what we're exploring, I'd love to know. Leave me a quiet "I'm here" in the comments. Not because it changes anything for the algorithm, but because it reminds us that we're not alone, that this journey of caring for ourselves, gently, intentionally, is something we share. Now let's talk about something we all need, especially now: protection. In a world filled with hidden viruses, unrelenting fatigue, and unexpected health scares, our immune systems carry more than just white blood cells. They carry peace of mind. And eggs? They bring a remarkable mix of defenders. There's vitamin A, which keeps the linings of your mouth, nose, and throat strong, your first line of defense. There's vitamin D, supporting your immune system from the inside out, helping your body respond to threats without overreacting. There's selenium, a quiet guardian that reduces inflammation and helps your body neutralize toxins. Together, these aren't loud heroes, but they work silently, consistently, keeping you a little stronger, a little more resilient to the colds, flus, and fatigue that seem to linger longer with each passing year. And in that same shell, yes, still within those two humble eggs, there's something for your heart. Now I know, this is where some people tense up. The word cholesterol has been hanging over eggs like a shadow for decades, but modern science, especially in the last 10 years, has painted a gentler picture. It turns out that for most people, the cholesterol in eggs doesn't act like the cholesterol in bacon or processed food. Your body adjusts. It makes less cholesterol when you eat more, and more when you eat less. And more importantly, eggs don't just bring cholesterol, they bring balance. They increase HDL, the good cholesterol that sweeps away the bad. They deliver healthy fats that support your blood vessels, antioxidants that calm inflammation, and nutrients that lower the risk of silent artery damage. It's not just about avoiding a heart attack, it's about protecting your circulation, your energy, your ability to walk, to climb, to carry your grandchildren. Now imagine this protection continuing further, past your heart, your muscles, your blood sugar, and into your years. Imagine eating 2 eggs every day, not as a diet, not as a habit, but as a quiet investment in your longevity. There's something powerful in that idea, that a food so simple, so affordable, so familiar, could be part of why you move with ease in your 70s, still travel in your 80s, still laugh and dance and feel vital in your 90s. Because eggs don't just offer short-term benefits, they help you keep your muscle, which prevents falls. They feed your brain, which keeps your independence. They nourish your immune system, which lets you stay engaged with the world, and they do it in a way that's gentle. No side effects, no fine print, just whole food, the way nature designed it. I once met a man, Harold, 84 years old, who said he'd eaten 2 eggs almost every morning since his 20s. He didn't know all the science, didn't care for the trends, but he could still walk to the market, tend his garden, and play the harmonica every evening on his porch. When I asked him his secret, he shrugged and said, "I don't know, maybe it's the eggs, but I think it's just showing up for your body, giving it what it can use." That line stayed with me, because showing up for your body doesn't mean being perfect. It doesn't mean green juices or endless supplements. Sometimes it just means starting the day with 2 little ovals that remind your body, I care about you. And speaking of care, let's talk about how you prepare them. How something as small as how you cook your eggs can affect what your body receives. Soft-boiled eggs protect the most nutrients. Scrambled eggs with a touch of olive oil and spinach turn into a meal that's both hearty and healing. Avoid the temptation to overfry them in butter every time, or worse, to skip the yolk altogether. The yolk holds the heart of the benefits, the choline, the antioxidants, the vitamins. And while raw eggs may sound trendy in some circles, they come with risks, especially for older immune systems. So stick with cooked, safe, comforting. Eggs have been here for us for generations. From breakfasts on farms to simple dinners during hard times, from feeding growing children to supporting aging bodies. They've always been there, even when we didn't know just how deeply they were helping us. Now we do, and it's never too late to give your body that kind of care. 2 eggs, each day, not a trend, not a trick, just a quiet ritual that says, I choose strength today. And if that message speaks to you, I hope you'll pass it on. Maybe to someone just starting to feel the stiffness in their legs. Maybe to someone recovering from illness. Maybe to someone who just needs a reminder. Small choices still matter. There's something beautiful about the routines we choose to keep. They may not seem heroic. They don't always come with applause or recognition. But day after day, they quietly shape who we are becoming. 2 eggs, just 2. And yet, when chosen with care, when prepared with intention, they become more than breakfast. They become a statement, a decision, a soft but steady affirmation that says, I'm still here. I'm still taking care of myself. You see, there's a kind of wisdom that grows with time, the kind that no textbook or podcast can teach. It's the wisdom of knowing that health isn't built in hospitals. It's built in kitchens. That strength doesn't always roar. It often whispers in the way your legs rise from a chair with less effort, or your mind remembers a name more easily, or your morning starts without the heavy fog of fatigue. It's in those tiny wins, those barely noticed triumphs, those uncelebrated moments that quietly return you to yourself. And eggs, they play a part in that, not because they're flashy or trendy, but precisely because they're not. Because they've been misunderstood, underestimated, and now rediscovered. I don't know what season of life you're in right now. Maybe you've just turned 60, and you're starting to notice small shifts in your energy. Maybe you're in your 70s or 80s and have already walked through seasons of health and recovery, of strength and slowdown. Or maybe you're caring for someone else, your spouse, your parent, your friend, and wondering how to help them feel whole again. Wherever you are, I want you to know this. It's not too late. Not too late to feel better. Not too late to move better. Not too late to rebuild strength, to nourish your body, to change the way your day begins. And it doesn't have to be complicated. That's the quiet miracle of food, the way it asks so little, yet gives so much. Maybe tomorrow morning, you'll reach for those eggs with a little more awareness. Maybe you'll take an extra moment to notice their shape, their simplicity. Maybe you'll remember this video and smile, not because everything is perfect, but because something in you chose to care. And maybe, just maybe, your body will respond, gently. Not in dramatic leaps, but in soft steps. A little more ease in your joints, a little more focus in your thoughts, a little more steadiness in your balance, because that's what health looks like after 60. It's not measured in six-packs or blood tests. It's measured in grace, in movement, in clarity, in quiet pride. So if this message touched something in you, if you're still here, still listening, I hope you'll share it. Not because it's viral, but because it's vital. Because someone in your life may be silently struggling. They may not say it out loud, but their legs feel weaker, their memory a little foggier, their confidence not quite what it used to be. This might help them. And sometimes all it takes to shift someone's path is a small story, a kind reminder, a warm video on a quiet day that says, you're not alone. You can begin again. You can feel stronger. So go ahead, make those 2 eggs tomorrow, not just for your body, but for your spirit. Let that breakfast be an act of gratitude for the years you've walked, for the resilience you carry, for the life you're still living. Because no matter your age, no matter your story, one thing remains true. Your health is still worth fighting for, and it begins right here, right now, with something as simple as 2 eggs. If this video helped you in any way, please leave a comment and share it with someone you care about. Let's keep lifting each other up, one small truth at a time. And don't forget to subscribe for more gentle, powerful insights just like this, from one heart to another. Thank you for being here. And here's to the strength that's still inside you.